Hey, welcome back to the channel. This is JR, founder and CEO of MintLocke.
And my name is Hitchens. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer here at MintLocke.
Yeah, and this is Social Ledger Report, where we haven't been on for quite a bit of time, but we're back in 2026. Yeah, we want to kick off 2026 by introducing a developer on Web3 on the Arbitrum network. His name is Ryan Beltran, and he's here to teach us a little bit more about his company and his product, ChainCraft, and kind of just, man, like, thanks so much for having us here. Really just want to know a little bit more about you. I want to share the audience with you, kind of tell us what you do, that sort of stuff.
Sure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. So I guess I'll kick it off by saying, I'm not sure if you've seen Social Ledger Report before, but I know we were talking about a little bit about it before, but we like to go over the news, things and trends and market movements happening, and how it affects and impacts the crypto markets. So, yeah, for now, kind of just want to talk to you more and put the spotlight on you with no pressure, but I guess
None at all.
what's that?
No pressure. Yeah.
I said no pressure, none at all.
No, never. So I guess the first question that I want to kick off today is, can you tell us a little bit more about who you are? Your name is Ryan Beltran, but what does it mean to be Ryan Beltran? I hope I'm pronouncing it right.
Yeah. Well, it's Ryan Beltran, but it's
Beltran.
however. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess a bit about me is I actually work on two things right now. One of the things that I have worked on for a while is a nonprofit, makewater.org,
Water.
which isn't really Web3. We've got donations from Web3. We've actually done some projects with the Nouns DAO, with some of our kits. We're an educational nonprofit that challenges students to be citizen scientists. And I've always liked tech, new tech, emerging tech. And that's how I got into that. And I've also always been a gamer. And
Nice.
I actually started getting into Web3 or crypto years ago. And through that, I don't know how far you want me to go into that. But after getting into crypto and Web3 and the recent AI boom, I've always wanted to build something in the space. And it wasn't until maybe a year and a half ago or a couple years ago when this sort of idea with some friends, ChainCraft, came up, and I can get more into that.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if we've told this to the audience before, but I think it'll be a good reminder since this is the first episode of 2026. But if you're comfortable, why don't you tell us what got you in two things, two parts of that question. So first, what exactly got you to crypto, and also how long have you been into the crypto space? And for reference, I got into crypto in about 2018. I learned about Bitcoin for the first time. Well, for the first time, I learned it in 2013 when I was in high school, but I didn't really get into it as much until 2018. I got into it with CryptoKitties. I had some Ethereum at the time.
It's a throwback right there. Crypto
Yeah,
kitties.
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, it really is. And I was very casual about it back then, but that's more or less my lore. Do you want to share yours real quickly on it, and we give you back the spotlight, Ryan?
Sure. I want to hear
Yeah,
it.
totally. I think mine was the classic thing that I remember is sitting in a calculus class in high school and be like, Bitcoin's the future, and going home,
Nice.
trying to mine it, trying to figure out what the heck it is on some crappy, gateway PC back in 2012, 2013 time.
Dang.
So I was there. I never quite got into the development side like you, Ryan, or understand as much as on the DeFi. I'm learning a lot more on that side, but it was always like Bitcoin was a thing. I bought some crypto kitties, and then anything with a little bit of gambling piques my interest, just like every other crypto nerd out there.
Yeah, Ryan.
So, yeah,
sorry,
I'll y'all have been in it for years. I've always, heard about it and always wondered why I didn't get into it earlier, because I always loved emerging tech, new tech. I'm also like a filmmaker, so I was really, really into filmmaking. Like I think during these times, like I went to New York and I worked for
Wow.
as
cool.
a production assistant for Michel Gondry, one of like my favorite directors. He did like Eternal Sunshine and Spotless Mind and a bunch of awesome music videos. So I think I was in my like pure filmmaker arc during all that, and I remember hearing about it, and the only thing that I remember was like, isn't that like PayPal? Doesn't PayPal already do that? And I didn't get it, so I was just like, it didn't click. But
Okay.
many years later, like 2020, I heard about the Sandbox and like Sandbox with their like virtual land, and then I just started like, it's all kind of blurry, but I know that's where I started because it like had this crossover of gaming and blockchain. I think I'd bought a tiny bit of Bitcoin or Ethereum like before that, or got on an airdrop but didn't claim it for Stellar, and because I didn't know what it was. I didn't even know what an airdrop was or whatever. But I know that Sandbox was the first thing, and it had to do with gaming, and I just went down the rabbit hole, and it was like, it took a while, but then it really like restructured your way of thinking, because it's still like you learn and you just like smart contracts, like how does this sort of type of money work? But really it was these like parcels of land on Sandbox that I bought, and then I saw that you could sell them for a lot more right away, and I was like, oh, okay, that's gaming I like, and I also like making money, so I did both of those things. And it really just, from then on, I just would always go on YouTube, listen to people, and then I learned about crypto Twitter, and honestly crypto Twitter's been the greatest educator for the past few years. It definitely is like watching reality TV too. It's like, it's so entertaining, like all the crazy drama that goes on in it. But I could go
are
on
you
and
ever on like Farcaster or Base? You know, the any of those?
Yeah. I got on Farcaster. I think I'm like in the first 3,000.
Oh wow,
or something.
I'm jealous.
Nice, man.
And
Yeah, same.
I didn't like. I would check up on it, but I kept going back to Twitter. Like it, like the algorithm. Like I just couldn't like set up my homepage to really. So it almost felt like when I was there, I was doing more work to try to find like things I did want to talk about or hear about. So I never quite got in the groove with it. I like it a lot, but I didn't. And Base, I think, you know, just feels like a spin-off of Farcaster, and I didn't do too much Base app yet.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. We've used Base. I was using Coinbase Wallet casually for a while, and then when they announced the rebranding into Base in July of 2025, I got super FOMO, and I was already like trying to get in. Leon got into it before I did, so I was a little, and I was a little jealous, but eventually I got my access, and then I use it every week. I don't post on it, but I'm starting to, just because I want to grow our brand MintLocke and then social ledger reports. So quick question about that. Do you feel like when you're promoting your business, and we'll get more to ChainCraft, of course, and whatever else you want to talk about, like Make Water, but quick question. So when you promote, I saw your following on Twitter, and I think you were like just shy of 500 followers, I believe, which it's substantial. We relaunched our business into MintLocke, so we have like maybe 3 to 5 followers, I believe. So
it starts somewhere. You got to start anywhere, you know?
Yeah. So thanks. But what would you advise our audience, but also us, as far as growing a following? Would you rather use crypto Twitter or like Forecaster or like just anything else aside from crypto Twitter?
Yeah, I mean, I will say I mostly secondhand have like heard a lot of like how people have grown in the space. I have not actively tried to grow my own Twitter, and the Twitter for ChainCraft, I've been very slow with it, just because it's very tricky if I launch something too soon and it's not ready to scale. Or like, the tricky thing in this space that I've seen is apps launch too soon and not be able, like if they catch like that virality or get viral all of a sudden, and they don't know how to deal with it, they can like like grow, boom and bust real fast. So that's one of the fears that I have. I mean, it'd be a good fear to have in a way, like a good
That's
thing
fair.
to happen. But I also, so that's where I've been with ChainCraft. If I had advice,
Yep.
I do think Base and Farcaster are good at getting other people who obviously are in the crypto space. So there's nothing wrong with that, and I think it'd be a positive thing to do that. It's also like a weird time right now too. It's like definitely
2026.
low. Yeah, it's definitely low vibes, kind of bearish feeling. But I like working in that
a good point.
time. Like I feel like you can stand out better when
Gotcha.
people have shaken up and have left that are like, oh, I'm not going to make money right now. I'll come back later. And there's just some of the like people left over. So
The ones that are
yeah, I
committed
don't know.
to the actual communities and stuff. I think that's when there's a boom, everybody comes in and they want to be involved. And I see that a lot on crypto Twitter. The folks that have been through the ups and the downs when Bitcoin went to like 60 and then went back down to 20, whoever stayed around was like, okay, here's some OGs that actually care about it. And I think there's an interesting thing happening this year around that, like low is crypto's being the most adopted thing. Stable coins are getting their build. Like there's inflows of ETFs and there's just so much going, but the number just kind of keeps going down. And I think that's what always kept crypto, Twitter and crypto alive with so much hype, is that with your exact thing. I could buy low, sell high. There was a Wall Street bets kind of component to this is a great wealth distribution. And I think as it stabilizes, it's kind of like longer term thinking, infrastructure and all of that. So there is an oddity of who sticks around. Like I'm seeing a lot of the posts like I'm out, or we're no longer doing that. We're a trading platform. It's like Farcaster. And it's like, is that the right answer? Who knows? And it just feels like early .com days, like in a lot of ways when IRC chats were around and, phones weren't really like, smartphones yet. Like, so.
Yeah,
No, it makes sense.
I definitely agree with that. I mean, it's like the best marketing is number go up, as they say. Like your token
Number go
goes crazy. That's the best marketing in this space.
Yeah, would know. That's his background.
Yeah, it's just
Right.
his number go up is the best marketing for it is somebody going on CNBC and saying Bitcoin's going to hit $1 million. Like the past number was it's going to hit 100,000, but now it's there. And I think to normal folks out there, the hard part is, what does crypto actually do? Like I had a hard time wrapping my head around that, and really JR was the one who kind of helped me understand DeFi more. I was very skeptical, and I think I said on one of the podcasts, I was like, why stable coins? And then I was kind of to your point, I was like, well, we already have like remittance and we already have systems, but as I learned, like, oh man, the banks still use FTP or SFTP to transfer, money in some ways. I was like, that it's really interesting. And I think, kind of pivoting a little bit in a smooth way is, I think gaming is kind of like that right now. It's like, how does crypto fit into that? Like we've had games that have in-game currency, but those in-game currencies have never been realistic. And there's a lot of crypto games, but I don't feel like they've quite cracked the nut. So maybe you want to, kind of give your elevator pitch on ChainCraft, and then we can kind of talk about what you're doing in that space.
Yeah,
You mentioned
that's a good setup.
You mentioned you were inspired by the sandbox. I actually did try the sandbox briefly. I think it was like a very 8-bit Minecraft type of formula, but I've been following you for a few years now, but please let us know, like, what is ChainCraft? If you could give us an elevator pitch and maybe also a less technical explanation of that for our viewers who are not very technical.
Yeah, and I also want to go back a little bit to just gaming and crypto. I feel like they are so made for each other, but it's just had a rocky road, and there's many reasons for it. And one of the biggest reasons is like NFTs came out. There was a boom and bust. There was a lack of education and understanding of the working of blockchain, and a lot of scams rampant. So that said, it really was and still is divisive in the gamer community. But it's really wild because there's so many crypto people that are gamers. Like they're just like, a lot of them are gamers, but there's not a lot of gamers that like crypto.
It's a good point.
But the thing that got me in again was Sandbox. It got me in. I didn't really stay with Sandbox. I didn't like it over time, but it did get me in and interested about like, oh, I can own a part of a game. Like you have Roblox, you have Fortnite, you have all these places that you can create things and maybe earn something, but it's a walled garden. They take hefty fees from people that are from creators. And I always thought like things that were like maybe more decentralized or more like the creator and the player had more ability to own things in game just was so powerful. Like I played World of Warcraft and old MMOs, and you couldn't sell your gold. Like you had gold, you couldn't sell it or buy it, or you weren't supposed to. You could get banned.
People would actually sell their swords. Oh my gosh, dude, that takes me the fuck back, man.
And
I remember
and even
eBay was like the place to sell that.
Yeah, but that's like against the terms of service and stuff. And even like Ethereum has that whole like Vitalik started Ethereum because one of his items was nerfed in WoW, and he wanted more decentralization. Like go look that story up if you haven't heard it. So anyway, I think there's so many roots in gaming and crossover, but it's just that the timing hasn't been right due to, like I said, the NFT and scams. But then also it takes a long time to make a good game. A lot of games have just tried to take old models and slap on like Web3 on it, or like crypto, and it's just like a shortcut that I don't think works or hasn't worked that well. So in my opinion, it's in its infancy, and just like people are trying to put shapes in different, like seeing what fits in what hole, and like it hasn't quite caught yet. And that's always been in the back of my head, like just checking out on games and wanting to like something to hit or something to just feel right, and I haven't found that yet.
Okay.
And that said, AI comes around, and I'll just get into ChainCraft now. Like, AI comes around, and just this whole like ability to easily create. And obviously, you hear about vibe coding. You hear about like there's a lot of already existing like app builders out there, and what we
kind
thought
of like Flutter, kind of like frameworks.
There's a few. There's many out there, and what kind of differentiates us and the route that we are taking is, even if you build an app, like a lot of these, like you prompt it, I want to make rock paper scissors, and it makes you one, but it looks horrible. It's hard to go back and adjust anything within this interface, like to tweak it, and it's pretty wonky. So, and it's not like multiplayer. There's a lot of levels that we thought if we build like from the ground up with this sort of like Web 2.5 mindset, like for instance, creating a profile is super easy. You can be a guest or you can sign up, and no matter what, we use Thirdweb, which makes it super easy to come in, create a profile, and you don't even know if you have a wallet or not. Like we're trying to make this for anybody to be able to use. Crypto native or not, with this idea of whatever you create, you can own, you can earn from it, and there's this like cross collaboration ecosystem where games that you make and maybe items in your game can be used across the ecosystem. So we're sort of, instead of just making a one-off app builder where you make a game and you try to pitch it or take it somewhere else, it's like you can do that, but what if you keep it in here and you keep it in this ecosystem where there's a lot more like remixing, cross collaboration potential, and cross like taking your items and moving it between different games. That's sort of like hits on like my early dreams of like what I think it means to have like gaming on the blockchain.
Cool, man. Yeah, thanks for explaining that. I'm gonna share your website, ChainCraft, and
Sure.
I'll let you take it off, Leon.
Yeah. So one interesting thing I was gonna call out there, and I'm hearing it a lot more. I really love that animation.
Yeah, it's really clean.
Is really around the on ramping, off ramping, and not making it feel like crypto. I think everyone's talking about that, from DeFi to like these games and you know, trading and just any platform that uses, even all the way down to Polymarket, where the on ramping and off ramping being so complicated, and you got to go buy crypto and send it to a wallet, and you got to know you have a wallet, and which chain are you on, or what are you doing, is I think the hard part. And I think when you make it as simple as possible, the end user, which are we're all goldfish in some capacity, we inevitably just go, oh, I can deposit $50 via Apple Cash or whatever it is, and I'm able to play a game and have fun and maybe make more money, but also you know, just enjoy it. Like, people, you know, spend hundreds of dollars every year on skins that don't really benefit them in any way.
They can't sell it back. I actually want to share, if you give me a moment, I could share my screen, and this is the actual app that is still like we just started to roll it out by invite only. It is public.
Nice,
so if anybody's watching this, you can go to play.chaincraft.games, and this is our early sort of beta. Let me open this up.
Yeah, by all means.
And so right here, you can instantly try making a game. I will say it's a little finicky right now. Like, what we've been working on up to this point is the foundation of our platform, which is the things that we have done so far are, it's multiplayer. It's a web app that works from your phone or a desktop. There is the ability, when you create a game, that it mints as an NFT, and you own it. So like I mentioned, when you have a profile, or like when you sign up, it creates a wallet for you, whether you really even know it or not. It feels very Web 2. And this shows you what games that I've made, that I've published. I made one, Dance Simulator. I like making just really cheesy games just for fun, to see what the extent of our engine can currently do. I will say right now it's just text-based on purpose, because it allows us to really like debug things, focus on streamlining like how making a game works and what mechanics we can start to add, and then we can start walking into graphics, but doing it in a way that that is thoughtful, where you don't just like have a really crap-looking interface, but something that maybe it's an interface that another artist has created, and they're earning royalties from maybe you using their interface. So here's like unpublished games that I've tried out. When you make a game, let's see, this one's called Cutest in Show, where you try to just make the cutest game or the cutest animal, and then the judge will determine which one is the cutest. And this is all kind of silly right now and just for fun. But we want to get to this point where like our first revenue stream is definitely degen-y for the crypto audience, which is we want players to come in and be able to create a game and then use it on what's called token duels, where you can wager a crypto in playing like skill-based games against somebody else. So one of the first ones is Superhero Showdown, where I just come up with like a superhero and you do, and then the AI battles them and one person wins, like a really quick one round sort of game. And
so is this like Lovable but for making on-chain games, essentially?
In a way, and Lovable's like another app builder, very big. Yeah. But the thing that I think we add here is the Web3 component, the owning component, and then we're going to be moving into like being able to create items in game that are NFTs. So like imagine I make a game where it's like a dungeon crawler and you can get certain items, like, I found a sword that is now an NFT. And then that sword could be used in other games that other people create. And so that's the route we're taking, is this like intermingling of people's games and creating more of an ecosystem that people would like to build on and earn from at the same time.
Cool, man. Yeah, that sounds really fun. And you said none of these are like technically playable yet. Like these are
No,
just
they're
text-based,
playable. Like
or-
anybody can come now, and do Superhero Showdown. I can start a game,
Cool, man.
and I can send an invite. Like you click here, click an invite link, and I can send it to anybody. There's a global chat here. Oh no, this is a game
Wow.
chat. So each game also starts a game chat, but there's a global chat here where I can say, "Hey, come join my game," or I can just text the code to somebody.
It's really cool.
And you mentioned friction, Leon.
Yeah.
I'm always thinking of friction for people who don't know crypto. Like coming in, you can play as a guest, like in 2 clicks. You don't have to like, it still creates you a profile and creates you a wallet. But like you invite somebody, they can in 2 clicks come and play your game with you right now already. So it's like the foundation is what we've spent a lot of time on. And now we're starting to focus on, okay, let's get like, what can we do to beef up text-based games, but also start going into more complex games, graphics, and things like that.
Man, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I actually just created a profile and I've been over here messing with it.
Nice.
I was doing the job interview simulator and just being a troll to it. It was actually
That was-
Nice. So, okay, that's
Yeah.
actually cool that you can actually create a game, and then is there like, if I can ask, like, is there a pipeline between, or like a general estimate between, you have an idea, you want to create a game, and then getting to playing the game and inviting people to play with? Like, what's the general timeline, I guess?
Yeah. Oh, that's a hard one because
That's
the
fair.
game builder is very finicky right now. Like I know because I've made games, like how to make
Like on
something that
Unity
it'll
sort of thing?
probably accept. Well, it's I mean, the engine is very AI based right now. Like a lot of it is like a lot of AI agents and AI prompting and AI artifacts being created every time. But little by little, we are making it more deterministic to where, like right now, it creates a game, it creates the artifacts, and then once everything's done, the artifacts are there, then it doesn't create a lot of requirement of AI after it's made. So all the ones that you see on our site are already, like the artifacts are all made. But
Okay.
in the future, it's going to be more like codable, like actual code that is coming out, and more deterministic and have more features and things like that.
Cool, man. So that's pretty cool. I did want to ask you. So you mentioned earlier, not every you essentially have 2 audiences. 1, people who use crypto, and 2, people who use AI, and they're not always the same users. So I think long term, you want to onboard people who are kind of in both realms. I did start off as a gamer in my life, and then I became a Web3 developer, or just a developer, and then someone who was in Web3. But what's your approach as far as onboarding people who are both Web3 users but also gamers? Like, if that makes sense.
So our first approach is definitely the Web3 existing, like crypto natives and gamers. And I already have am in some groups that are already gamers. So this is built on Arbitrum, and it's even built on another layer on top of Arbitrum, and layer 3 called Senko, which is a fun group of people who just they have made some really interesting and innovative games. Senko has, and so we decided to launch on their chain, but it's all in the Arbitrum ecosystem. But our first priority is the Web3 audience because of just how they get it. Like, even though we're making this as low friction as possible, that's our first audience. Token Duels kind of appeases that audience. But at the same time, I'm trickling in and reaching out to non-natives just to get their feel of like the use of it. Like, does something stick out that just feels like they don't understand, or like, and honestly, right now, it just feels like they're just playing with the game builder, which is great. That's our goal, is like, they don't have to off the bat know it's blockchain. They can just know it's in the background. And once we get to the point of like earning royalties, it could just be done very like simply. Like, we still have different ideas of how that route's going to work out, but we want them to feel like, oh, I just want to send the money to my PayPal or something like that. So we're trying to figure out all the ways to do that. And actually, I will give a shout out to Thirdweb again. They
Nice.
have all sorts of like methods for bridging, onboarding, or creating wallet through profile creation, social media login, things like that. And then they have tons of templates on their website of just not having to reinvent the wheel and code something from scratch. They already have like, oh, I want a marketplace, I can put it in there. They have like even their own AI, Web3 AI that can help you with smart contracts. It'd be really cool. Like, I have so many things on a wish list for like way down. It'd be really cool to just have a game that is almost like a PvP game where you have your wallet and you can lose the things in your wallet, but like in a setting where that wallet or your wallet is maybe on a test net or something like that, where it doesn't matter anyway. But like, that's a lot of fun, because I loved PvP games where there's high stakes involved, where you could lose your loot, and a lot of games just don't scratch that itch like it used to. So there's all these innovative ways that I think we can take our platform that are just fun, but they involve the blockchain, they involve this like ownership, and being able to buy and sell and earn. So I keep going back to that. That's sort of our thesis.
I like
would
that.
love a PvP game just to like steal people's stuff, have my stuff stolen, like put in a little bit of, it's almost like the gambling, the degen stuff. Like, I think that'd be a little fun just to have something of like, oh my gosh, you walked in the house, like Stardew Valley style, you know, kind of game where everybody gets to be on the same server. That would be amazing. That was always the move on Minecraft.
Yeah, personally,
I'm excited for that.
I also got on Minecraft quite a bit. So like public servers like P2B or B2BT, or I forget that old Minecraft server, but it's kind of like what I thought of when you mentioned PvP high stakes. So no, but thanks for sharing that. So you mentioned Arbitrum, and personally, I haven't built on Arbitrum. I was building, my first business was Websy. It was a social network on a layer 1 called Decentralized Social, or DeSo. That didn't really take off. They had a lot of issues with that network. And I've learned that Ethereum layer 2s are actually a much better way to build on Web3, because they have more recognition. They're Ethereum based, so there's EVM. It's a lot easier to build, and there's already like a large, you know, a lot of people and a lot of I forget the word, there's a lot of money on these networks essentially, so it makes it easier to distribute and everything. So if you can just like tell us a little bit about what made you choose Arbitrum specifically to build on.
Yeah, a few things. So yeah, again, like, it's on the EVM chain, or it's on, which means it's on Ethereum. It's built on top of it, and there's a lot of L2s out there. But it's kind of great, first of all, when it's tied to Ethereum. Like, there's a lot of similarity. Your wallet goes across all of them, like your same like wallet address. I got into Arbitrum because Senko, I liked of all the gaming stuff out there, I liked Senko. I wouldn't say that they have been the most successful, but they've made the most innovative stuff. They made a Twitch, a Web3 Twitch thing, where you could live stream and give like follow, give credits, give tips, things like that. They did that like first. They did a game where you have. Yeah. Don't
want to interrupt you, but how do you spell Senko? I want to look it up and open it right now and kind of just go through it as you tell us.
Sanko, and they have a ton of like.
Okay.
It's just a really fun platform. Like, let's see, Senko.
So Arbitrum portal, correct? Is it this one?
Let's see, Senko.
Well, this is Arbitrum's website.
Yeah, let me give you their like main. It's Senko.xyz.
Ah, nice.
And
good old XYZ.
They have a lot of different products. They just kind of like threw a lot of spaghetti at the wall, and they made a game called like Senko Pets, where it's like
I see it here.
and they have this like PlayStation vibe. They have very like PS1, PS2 era graphics and stuff.
Okay, this is cool.
So they have Senko pets, which is a lot of fun, where you own these pets and you can trade them as NFTs. But what I'd never seen before is each NFT is a wallet also. So you can send it items, and you can wear like gear and stuff. So Senko pets. So
Yeah, here it is.
they call them buns, and those are little Senko buns. So I love what they're doing. It's very silly, the items that they make. And they're about to make like a MMO with all this stuff. It's kind of like a lot of their stuff also is an ecosystem.
This kind of reminds me of Farmville from like 2009 Facebook days. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. They have a little farm where they have items. They have an AI item generator where you can make your own items. So they are built on
cool.
Arbitrum. They have their own layer 3. So it's just like Senko mainnet.
Okay. Wait, so it's layer 3, you said?
Yeah, so it's like
what's
Ethereum,
the
and there's like Arbitrum, and then there's like Arbitrum allows for orbit chains, which basically is like layers on top of it. So
Gotcha.
Bored Apes made a chain on top of Arb. I think
that's
Robinhood is building a orbit chain. If not, they're just building on Arbitrum in one way or another. So we can go on and on, but I will say I like Arbitrum a lot. I am not like a hater on other chains. I just like and decided to build on Arbitrum because I think they just have longevity. They don't really try to overhype things. You really can tell from the team they're just like slow and steady, like building a pretty amazing product. I like Base a lot too. They're very good at like marketing. They're very good at like quick iteration and quick new ideas and getting money out there. So it's just different vibes, but they're interconnected. Like you can bridge across pretty easily your funds and things like that. So yeah, but cool. I just like Arbitrum, and they've been supportive too. We won a grant through a Questbook grant.
Oh, nice! Congrats.
Yeah.
How much was it, if I may ask?
It's for 25,000 or 24,500, and we are also going to do a hackathon that we just applied to that they have going.
Nice, man.
They have a really huge gaming initiative, and actually that's another thing to add to this to kind of just like maybe bookend it. But
yeah,
every blockchain would love to have that killer first game that brings Web 2. It's almost like they're publishers. They're like, we want you to do it on our chain, because they will get the fees of like transactions and the liquidity will come to their chain and things like that. So there's a lot of incentive for you to make a great standout game in blockchain. So if people want to try it out, think about it, because there's money out there if you have good ideas, and that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, I think one thing I'll say is, and I don't know if you have any thoughts, Leon, but I think in crypto, one thing I've learned is, in the last almost 5 years that I've been building on crypto, is people just want to make money. Money comes first in many areas because it is the easiest way to integrate crypto. It's just money. But would you say that, you can kind of see a parallel with like the gamification of Web3 with like prediction markets? Because right now, Kalshi and Polymarket, I feel it's kind of like a gambling game. The gamification part of it is you're betting on something in the market, and then you put money, and then you either win or you lose. It's kind of like gambling, kind of like not gambling, if that makes sense. So do you see like some sort of parallel, is what I'm trying to ask?
With what we're building, or just like what in like?
Oh, just in general, like with prediction markets and like Web3 gaming in particular.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of those things that everybody's trying to slap blockchain onto things, and there's some things that are successful, and definitely if there's gambling involved, it tends to be a good, it's not always my favorite thing, but it's a good, like, it just does well at it. And prediction markets are very interesting. I really like, I don't really use it much. It's not like, I kind of tend to go and use the products that I get excited about or think are innovative and interesting to learn from. So I mean, I heard about Polymarket very early on. I didn't
Nice.
use it much, but I did like what it was doing, and I did like this whole like now it's in the news because it's prediction, like it's a way to predict things by. It's very powerful that if something is showing you in real time, people are putting their money where their mouth is. It's can be pretty accurate outcomes, which is pretty neat, and I was not expecting that. And then Kalshi is just like, I believe very similar, but just KYC'd and like has a little bit more regulation, I think, and has been able to really boom quickly. And
Yep.
yeah, so I'll just say that there's a lot of people still trying out there, like attaching this to that and seeing what sticks, and some making it big. Yeah.
No, it makes sense. Did you have any thoughts, Leon?
No, I've been playing the job simulator pretty hard right now. This is actually pretty fun. Like
I can use
I'm
tapping
glad to
away.
hear.
I'm stuck over here. I didn't get the job, and I tried to do
Why
it
don't you
again, and
share
I
it?
didn't get the job again. I was like, dang it.
Dang.
Can you share us
yeah.
like your game experience, by the way?
Yeah, totally.
So
That'd be kinda
I will say with the job simulator, my goal was because it's so finicky. Like I have to, when I get a working game, I'm just gonna publish it, because if I go back and try to change too many nuances,
Okay.
it might break the game, and I lost my chance to launch it.
Yeah.
So my initial goal with this, I'll just set a premise to job simulator, was like I wanted it to be where you don't know what you submitted on your resume, and the job interviewer would little by little say, oh, it says here you have 3 years plucking chicken experience. How does that help with applying for this HR position at a hedge fund or something like, and then you have to like try to say, oh, my chicken plucking experience is the added. So it's almost like an improv game, and you have to just have fun with it. And
Yeah, it was pretty fun. I went
love
really hardcore here of just like, it's asking me, how are you reliable and stuff, and I was like, oh, I'm always late. Also, kind of suck at juggling.
Nice.
And just to see what
I
he would
suck.
do, it's kind of fun. Just
Yeah.
to be the troll, but I thought that was pretty cool. On the game creation, so you have to buy NFT, or how does that kind of work? I was
Yes, I'm glad you
looking
brought
at
that up.
right now.
The NFTs are really inexpensive. They're like a couple bucks. And the only reason is not so much to make money off of it or anything, is that AI tokens it costs a lot to build a game right now. We've already made it pretty efficient, but like if a lot of people come in at once, it's going to like start hitting our pocketbooks. So we kind of have this like sponsorship route where if you want to join right now, you can join our Discord, reach out to us. We have an onboarding form. And basically you make a profile. Like after this, y'all both, I can send y'all and drop a NFT in your profile,
That'd be
in
fun,
your
man.
wallet attached to this, and it'll unlock the builder. Also on top of that, the builder is still not like, it's still finicky. Like it's like, it takes a lot of trial and error. It's only going to get better. But those are the two reasons why. It's just that. And also to just add a little extra perks and early access to those who have bought Data Drifter, who were our early supporters. And we're going to have that in mind for always. Like if you're a holder, that maybe you get just extra items, perks, things in the future. We always want to be considerate of those that supported us early. So yeah, I can give you access to do that after this call.
Yeah, man, that'd be
cool,
fun.
man. I love it. I can imagine some games like there's that one like the Pilgrim game where it goes across the
Scott Pilgrim.
Yes, Oregon Trail, right?
Yeah, Oregon Trail. I
Okay,
could
Oregon
see
Trail.
some fun spins to that where we could be like Fallout, crossover mutants, like I've got some ideas.
Please do. I would love to see and I'm also seeing the first person to actually make a game is actually called Realm of Synchrony. So I was very excited even now when I opened it up. It's the first time I've seen a new person come and publish a game. So it's really exciting.
No, it's
we
fun.
still don't have that many beta testers yet. We're just little by little rolling it out. So kind of word of mouth, kind of things like this. Like I chat with y'all, I'm like, yeah, I'll get y'all access and
Thanks.
see what kind of stuff you make. And also, what's kind of cool is you can share that link of your job simulator, and it's like people can see it after the fact, or they can even watch while you're playing. Like they can come in and see your game. So depending on what your game is like,
streaming it or do you have
well, it's not exactly streaming, but in a way, it kind of is like streaming your game of text. Like they can come and just spectate your game. Anybody can.
okay.
And we're looking at like spectating building games, so that maybe you can open up your builder to others to maybe build with you. We're adding remixing at some point, where if you like a game, you could remix somebody else's game and they get royalties if you remix their game. There's a lot of routes and a lot of things on our wish list that we just have to bit by bit build up.
Cool, man.
I love the thing. I definitely play there. I actually have DMT in my MetaMask wallet. I was going to go do this too, because I want to see like the experience, because I think that's the hard part out there in the world, is make sure every part works along the way too. Like so help support it. Yeah, like I didn't realize the DMT was so cheap. Even I thought it was a little bit more expensive.
Yeah, it's gone down lately. They are about to launch their MMO, and it's just been like delay after delay, and everybody in the Telegram is it's a joke. It's like, oh, it's coming out in 2 weeks. It's perpetually coming out in 2 weeks. But it's hard to launch an MMO. Like they set their goals are so lofty in the stuff that they've built. So a lot of people are just like waiting for it to launch. But Sanko, fun group. They make fun games. And looking forward to their it's called like Sanko Quest. It's like going to be very similar to RuneScape.
It's fun.
Coming out soon.
I love RuneScape. So one thing Leon and I, one mindset that Leon has got me into is we treat business kind of like a sport, where we keep on it. We, funny enough, put our money into it with like prediction marketing sometimes, like with press releases or with like earnings call. Will Brian Armstrong say something when he is doing the earnings call for Coinbase? Just for an example. But
yeah,
one thing I want to kind of like just talk about is how's the business side for ChainCraft for you? I know you've been building it for a few years, and I know you're slowly starting to roll out the product, and I know you also got the grant, which congrats. But what's next for ChainCraft, and where do you see ChainCraft going in the next, let's say by 2027? Where do you see it going?
Yeah, I mean, by 2027, our goals are to have. Yeah, I don't want to completely give out the roadmap, but have much more interactivity, creating NFTs. We're going into, when I mention items, like we're kind of setting it up in a way that items or NFTs will be cards or look like cards, because it's a very like tangible feeling thing than just like a generic, oh, I made a sword and this NFT is just a picture of a sword. If everything kind of revolves around this like constraint of looking and feeling like a card NFT, there's a lot more crossover in that. So the game, the first thing that we're going to do is token duels. I think that's our like wedge and foot into the door of crypto space, and really elevate the features for that. We believe that's our flywheel, our catalyst for getting a bit of our own income and revenue. There's incentive for you to create on the space, because you could get royalties. There's incentive to refer others, because we're going to also add referral fees that you could get. And that's sort of what we're hoping to work on the first quarter or two this year. And ETH Denver is coming. We're going to try to really show off our token duels, our testnet token duels.
Nice.
Which when that comes out, I'll share with y'all too.
Yeah, man.
There's already an early version of that. So by 2027, we would love to like be fully launched with like a very basic product, maybe starting to get into some better graphics, but really starting to build a community off of token duels and into some of the bigger phases that we really feel will add much more feature-rich things to the site, and the gameplay.
Cool, man. Yeah, thanks for sharing. Let's see, I only have like a handful of questions left, but
Sure.
I don't know if you have anything else in your mind, Leon, that you want to share real quick or ask. not to put you in a spot. Cool, man. Yeah, so, thanks for sharing that, Ryan. So I guess my final few questions are, I'll kick it up by asking, you mentioned distribution, you've already mentioned like your monetization philosophy, kind of like what you believe, is what you should be doing as a Web3 platform or building games in Web3. But since you're kind of getting things rolling, what is the number one metric or key performing indicator that you're looking for ChainCraft? Like, is it players, daily active users, retention?
I think it's retention, honestly.
Okay.
Which is tricky right now because retention is like, some of the stuff here is like not, it's fun to come and tinker with once or something and maybe share it. But I really am going to be looking close at retention when Token Duels goes live. That'll be this, like, it'll really tell us, like, is this catching with the crypto audience that we are aiming for, and that's our like sort of theory is it should. I have been in it. I would love to have a setup like this to play. So I'm building what I would want to play and be a part of. So
cool, man. So you're essentially building your own games.
Yeah. Like I'm just like,
nice.
Nobody else is building it, so I want to build a builder to build the games I want to play. Like that's what I'm doing. So yeah, retention, I think so. And obviously like growth would be great, liquidity and people bringing funding onto the site, and just to tap on that, like some of the issues in gaming right now are like credit cards and crypto do not work well together. There's a lot of
on-chain fiat, or excuse me, on-chain. You mean on-ramp dollars to like crypto?
Yeah. So like those are some things. Everything is always like getting easier and easier over time. So definitely. A lot of stuff that we're utilizing now was not out like a year ago. But things like the things that we're concerned about is like best method for bridging without creating a lot of friction between other layers to our layer. But also like the ease of new money coming in is also one of those hurdles that is not a deal breaker, but it's one of those that if it gets fixed at large, or like if credit cards get easier to use, that would be like amazing. There would be a lot more boom in the gaming industry and just apps in general with crypto.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I'm very bullish on crypto as a whole. I could be doing like, if I could do anything else in the world, I would say no, I'm going to stick with crypto. But no, I see your point. So we're almost out of time here. But one thing I was thinking is, you've mentioned kind of like where you see crypto going in the next few years, especially with gaming/crypto would be going in a few years. But like, what do you think is the bull and the bear case for on-chain gaming? If you could like kind of give us both scenarios and like what you think would lead it to either outcome.
Yeah, I think I will start with the bearish. Is still, it's just sentiment right now. Both sentiment, that it's so attached to a token, a price. If Bitcoin, Ethereum goes up, down, then it can have a negative impact, people losing money, this or that. I think the route that we're going, I like, and I think I'm bullish on this sort of route, is like, if you're not just trying to create something that is a token that you're trying to like have it number go up real fast, but actually a slow and steady growth, like earning revenue through fees, like a lot more by volume than by like quick, big, volatile numbers. I think that really hurts the space, or at least the gaming space. There's some people that just like the whole gambling space and will always be there. But I think for the gaming, if you like don't try to like sell NFTs that are thousands of dollars, like, I mean, those days are over. But like, sure, if you're just like, oh, I'm like a kid playing a game and I want to pay $3 for a skin and then be able to sell it later for $3 again, at least I got that money back to buy another skin later. Like even just that, like the kid wins, the player wins, the platform wins because we get a fee. And so like it doesn't have to be so big and huge every single step of the way. I think there's a lot to be said in that. For gaming.
I actually agree with you there. Personally, I used to play Fortnite a lot, and I'll be brief. I used to play Fortnite a lot. I missed out on some of the early battle passes, some of the skins you can no longer get on eBay, since you can sell anything on eBay. Some people are selling accounts that are like so old that have some of the original skins that you cannot get anywhere else. Mm-hmm. They sell for like thousands of dollars. One of my friends, like a long time friend ago, showed me he wanted this particular skin and the account was selling for $5,500. And I was like, holy shit, that is a shit ton of money. But yeah, I agree with you. I think, having this accessibility for people, because crypto is very like making money centric, I think that's probably one of the easiest ways to integrate it. But it also surprises me that we haven't gone this far. Instead, we went the route, hey, let's sell some dumbass monkey on an image of a monkey and try to sell it for thousands of dollars. There's almost no use case for that. But gaming, I think that's a real thing. I think gaming culture has become so normal. It's in some cases replacing media, like traditional media, like movies, TV, you name it, for entertainment. I think this is the next big step as well. So, what do you think gaming as a whole would look like by 2030, in just a few years from now?
I'd like to be very optimistic about it.
Right.
I still think it'll take a little longer, but who knows, for the integration of like blockchain and gaming. Because right now gaming can be stagnant, where it's just like a lot of layoffs, a lot of risk off. And that's another reason of our genesis, or our like intro to ChainCraft, was like, what if there was another way for people to create games, iterate fast, and since it's multiplayer, you can try to just focus on one little mechanic and see if it works, and then build off of that, or even just sell that one mechanic as like a way to earn royalties. And so because of that, and the atmosphere of like the gaming at large right now, that's another reason why we got into this. But if blockchain were to take off, it would just, I don't know. For me, it's not a question of if, it's just when, that cheesy saying, but it really is. It just like, it makes so much sense for gaming and owning your items to be on the blockchain, or just like having, like, there's nothing else that really competes with blockchain for the ability to trade items that are virtual items. So it just makes sense. It's going to happen. I hope it happens that soon, but you never know.
Thanks, man. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. Just before we close, where can we find you on social media? And
so you can
Discord.
you can just go to play.chaincraft.games, and there you can see our Twitter, which is just @ChainCraftGames. We're on Instagram @ChainCraftGames. And definitely go to the Discord. If anybody's listening and is interested, please come ping us in Discord. And that link is just play.chaincraft.games. You'll see the Discord at the bottom. And maybe you could do it in the show notes. I don't know, but yeah.
Cool, man. Thanks for sharing. All right. I guess do you have any closing statements you have for everyone, aside from just where to find you?
Just check us out if you want to have full access. Like, we can sponsor you a pass, especially early on. Passes are limited. But I'm glad you're here and listening to this and interested in Web3 and gaming. And thank you all for having me.
Thanks, man. Yeah, this has been Social Ledger Report, and we'll be seeing you next week. Thanks so much.